And here we go, we got top right, and well, we've got DinOt spawning down in the bottom right. I mean, that's pretty good. There's nothing really you can say about the positions here, except that DinOt is scouting towards JF, and I mean, I really like DinOt's chances here.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Talcross is a map he picked. He picked, by the way, Talcross, Python, and Medusa, and I'm actually surprised by the pick of Medusa. I'm actually looking forward very much to Set 6, because Medusa is a fairly Protoss favorite map in ZVP. It's something like 75% almost in the pro statistics, but I suspect DinOt's got some build up his sleeve, maybe a lurker rush, break the cannons down, the temples down, and then go into a JF space, maybe Jaedong style. But anyway, let's go back to this map. Talcross, fairly even between the two races. We could be seeing a 9 pool here, or a fast a pool first here from DinOt. I think that would be a little more advantageous on this map. But we'll see what he decides to do.
Yeah, and as we can see, we got JF going for another fast expand, which is pretty much standard play. I mean, you wouldn't expect anything else. And DinOt is surprisingly going for a 12 hatch again. So I guess he's loving the macro builds these days, which is good on him. I like macro Zergs.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like he's not going to go for that overpull, so yeah, this is another 12 hatch, and that's fine. Last game was an interesting variation, getting that 4th hatch up, but it turned out to converge basically back to fairly standard mid-game play from him, at least. And I think he reacted very well against the Dragoon Reavers, just with that perfect surround in the first attack. Definitely surprised me. I thought he was going to be in big trouble, but he just, surprised me, and I think probably surprised JF a little bit. Here he goes for the 12 hatch, and Jianfei probably... Jianfei's scouting second, so he had to put the Forge up first.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, if JF had scouted him first, he would have been able to put a pylon at the choke and not let any drones out, and that would have been just bad for DinOt, seeing as he hasn't gone for the pool first. I mean, it shows that they haven't played on this map for a while. I mean, how old is it? From 2006, I think? Something like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, good. And so they're a bit rusty, I suppose. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens if he gets the Rider Valkyries, I would say. Anyway, JF is coming in, and he will be able to get in nice and easily with his probe. No real contention there from DinOt. And meanwhile, JF is just building probes, saving up money, and he will be going for his Nexus before putting up cannons, which is pretty much standard after seeing a 12 hatch and 11 pool.
It's total standard. Yeah, one of the decisions points in this game is whether DinOt's going to go for his 3rd gas right now. His third gas, of course, is to the left of his natural expansion, and it looks like he is going to go for the 3rd gas. So he's going to cap that 3rd gas. It's going to lend me to think he's going to probably go for a defensive mid-game here, maybe that 5-hatch build I was talking about earlier with the Scourge and the Lurkers, or Scourge Hydralisks. Probably not going to be going for an early attack, being this spread out. But, if he can hold these 3 gas, he's going to be in a very advantageous position, and it's not that hard to do on Talcross compared to some other maps. So, a bunch of drones getting transferred to the natural, and no gas up yet for DinOt.
Yeah, interesting that he hasn't put his gas up yet. I mean, maybe he's trying to do something like he did last game and try, put up the 4th hatch at 18. He's saving up money now, but that may just because his Overlord's rather late, really. I mean, he's only just started his Overlord now, and he's been on 18-18 for a while now, and he's had the money to build it, so...
Gonna see that 4th hatch.
Probably just to compensate for missing the Overlord. I mean, we still haven't seen a gas yet, so... surprising. Anyway, Jianfei has put up his cutesy little wall there with his Forge, Gateway, and Cannon, and his Natural has just come online, and he's taking his gas, so he's going to be playing...
Second gate for him.
Playing exactly... Second gate?
Yeah, second gate for Jianfei.
So that's
definitely divergence there, so he's going to be going for some early Zealot pressure, and finally he loses his scouting probe, but not before he spots well, actually, he didn't spot the 4th hatchery. The 4th hatchery was not spotted, but it is going up in DinOt's natural expansion. So he is going for that 4-hatch opening, getting the extractor. It seems like he's practiced this build probably many a time to try to defeat the mighty Jianfei, and he likes it. So looks like he's going to be doing it over and over again, basically.
It's working for him. I mean, with 4 hatcheries, you're able to produce a number of drones. I mean, here comes the Zealot right now. The Zealot's trying to try to get some kills, and it'll... Oh, impressive micro there by DinOt. He just managed to move his drone back, move a drone across, and basically save its life until the Zealot managed to catch up with it anyway, so it was all in vain. But still, he's doing a great job of neutralizing the Zealot harass. And now that the Lings are out, that's going to be pretty easy to mop up.
More Zealots coming up. But more Zealots coming into the natural. Yeah.
Oh, and the Zealot managed to get a second kill, so that's definitely paid for him. And here comes more, and here comes another Zealot into the natural, and it'll probably get some damage done too. And it's seen the 4th hatchery, so he knows pretty much what's going on right now. Just pure with Zealot harass.
I love it. This is, quite manly, these Zealots from Jianfei, and maybe we do have some Canadian manlots here, but he's going for the fast +1 also at his forge, and he's going to be probably going for a speedy Zealot rush there. Just pouring in Zealots one by one. This is just, absolutely disastrous for DinOt. DinOt still does not have any range units. He's going to get Hydralisks now, but, I mean, he has to deal with Zealots flooding into both his natural and his main, and maybe even to his third, which would be really bad for him. 2 Zealots in the natural expansion. They're going to kill off all the Zerglings, so it looks like. Yeah, all the Zerglings go down, although the Zealot, only 1 Zealot left. Jianfei needs to go and micro it. Meanwhile, in the main base, Zealot has taken down at least 1 more drone, and this is just disastrous for DinOt. He doesn't seem to be able to control his units. I mean, it's just harder for the Zerg to defend here against these super strong Zealots that come in and just cause havoc. Alright, now a lot of Zerglings going out. DinOt's like, I am done with getting harassed. And he's just produced something like 18 Zerglings. And hopefully he'll be able to do something with them.
Oh, there's Zealots everywhere. I mean, JF is really doing a good job with this Zealot harass here right now. He's managed to get a number of kills. He's basically disrupted the macro game that DinOt was trying to play. In the meantime, he's managed to get all his tech up. I mean, he's already got Templars on the way. I mean, old Templar tech on the way. And DinOt has not been able to pump drones like he wanted to originally. I mean, he's done exactly what every Protoss wants to do. He's disrupted the Zerg's economy, made him start playing his game and not the Zerg's game, and it's going to be working out really well for JF by the looks of it. I mean, he's adding an extra 2 gateways right now, with probably a few more to come. So I expect to see a 5-gate Zealot speed lot. Yeah, here comes the speed. Oh, probably a Zealot Reaver here, because he's starting his robotics facility, but I don't know, we'll see.
Well,
it's probably good.
Might just be for observers. I think, yeah, just for observers. But interesting enough, we're seeing speed for the Hydralisks right now instead of Lurkers. I would have preferred, if I were DinOt, to go for Lurkers at this point. Having seen the fast +1 on the Forge, you have to expect this fast speed lot rush. And, Hydras by themselves are going to get killed pretty easily by the speed lot rush. And, so he's going to have Hydras, he's going to be a little more maneuverable, but I think he's going to be facing a lot of trouble here from the speed lot push, especially if it's backed up with some High Templar, which it could be, or an Archon or 2.
Oh, definitely. I mean, with the Archon out, I mean, speed lot with Archon is really, really powerful. I mean, we've seen that before, even in the TSL. But still, here we go. We've got JF moving out with a number of Zealots right now, and that's going to be really difficult to stop from DinOt. I mean, if he doesn't pump some units right now, I mean, he's still trying to catch up in drone count. And here we go. We got him building a number of Hydralisks now, and here come the legs, and this is going to be it. I mean, if he managed to get a decent amount of damage on that third, I mean, that's going to be it for DinOt. But however, I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off with 2 Sun Hits and the third going up. Oh no, he's gone into the natural. Oh, he won't be able to do any damage here. There's too many Sun Hits for the Zealots. And here we go, coming into the third, and he backs off again. And that's he's got to be. He just has to retreat. There's no choice here. If he goes in for that, he will probably lose all those Zealots. And here
he's
we go.
Go in anyway.
But here we go. His +1 just finished, and that's going to give him the edge over here in this. But still, he has to retreat at the end of the day. But DinOt's panicking around. He's going to try to flank him here, and he's going to try to pick off as many as he can.
Wow.
And he managed to get 3 down. I mean, that's pretty good. But JF is taking his third now, and that's good for him.
Yeah, but this has been spotted by 1 Zergling here, so I thought JF would push out a little bit later when he got his first High Templar out in Storm Research, and that would have been, I think, a little more powerful, but the fact that he went right now is going to put him in a bit of trouble, because it's going to be hard for him to hold this third now without any... Okay, there come the High Templar. High Templar coming from the natural expansion. And a DT out. That DT could be absolutely critical because I don't think there's Overlord speed yet. And that DT getting in the mix there, it's going to be able to stop the attack, but not before it forces the natural to go down here, the second natural to go down. So that DT saves the day, but really JF has been stymied once again with his early attack. It's once again failed. And DinOt looks to be in a very comfortable position. Let's get a check on the food counts. DinOt at 76, JF at 73. That's a very fine position for the Zerg to be in at this point in the game. And he's also got a lot of Sunkens up, so he's in a very strong position to really dictate the next moves that occur.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, he's really come back from that Zealot harass really, really well. I mean, he's just managed to deflect the DT with smart overlord positioning. I mean, we got DT's trying to pick off stuff everywhere, but they're not going to be able to do anything because there's a number of overlords around. And now we've got JF trying to retake his third, which he really needs to do now, because, I mean, losing it earlier was a huge setback. You really want that third up as fast as you can get it. And, JF is not playing as well as we'd expect. I mean, he had to warp on a number of pylons earlier to catch up in supply. I mean, he looks really rusty, if anything else.
That's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe he just hasn't, I haven't seen his standard play yet, quote unquote, against Zerg. The play he exhibited against DinOt, which was much stronger in the TSL round of 8. Maybe he's been trying to do different kinds of builds. This game was certainly different in that he went for the 2-gate. But anyway, hold that thought. There comes another big attack at that third gas that he's trying to put up there at the right side. And this attack, I think, will succeed once again. This High Templar needs storms, but great storm dodging from DinOt. He's dodged almost all his storms. No, this one's going to hit. That one hits a little bit too, but I think it's good enough to shut it down at this point. A couple more storms, though, and actually, wow, there are more storms than I thought out of those 4 fully loaded High Templar, and it looks like DinOt's forced to back off there. So what I thought was going to be a success basically gets chased off by well-placed storms there. But, this is going to give JF the breathing room he needs right now to set up this expansion, I think.
Oh, definitely. I mean, those Templars had really good storming. I mean, DinOt had great micro to avoid most of them, but, if you've got 6, 7, 8 storms coming down on top of you, you can't do much about it. That's really great play. I mean, now with JF as his third up, after that failed attack by DinOt, he's really got to get that fourth up as fast as he can, and he's taking it right now, but ideally he'd want a gas expansion, so I expect him to take a fifth relatively soon, so he can get up that extra gas in there. Now we go for a Dark Templar drop in the main, but there is an Overlord there to spot it, but it depends on how fast DinOt's going to be able to react to it. So the 2 Dark Templars are down, and here they go for the kills. I love Dark Templars.
Yeah, and this is going to be... DinOt spots it though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good
impressive reaction speed by DinOt. He's completely onto it. He is playing it very impressively right now. JF will probably be able to get the Evolution Chamber, but that's not upgrading anything for him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, DinOt's trying to put some locus outside the third base of Jianfei, but that's not going to be able to do much, seeing as he doesn't have the sheer unit numbers to be able to force himself in there and get those locus down to do anything. So JF has managed to get his third online and secure, so looks like we've got a game on our hands.
Good for him. Right, JF has a big upgrade advantage also, because those chambers just went up right now. They're a quarter done at most with Carapace and range upgrade for the Zerg. Meanwhile, Jianfei sitting pretty there with +2 attack and with +3 on the way. So huge advantage for the Protoss in terms of the upgrades because of the fact that Jianfei went for the fast +1 attack. He just has a big jump on him. And now we're seeing some lurkers out in the field. Good unit composition at this point, but it doesn't really matter because Jianfei's third is up, and he's just gonna keep building up and building up. This is gonna be kind of a macro phase for a little bit of a while. Neither player can really move out, but we're getting sight upgrade at the lair. Probably a misclick from DinOt at this point. Oh, gets cancelled.
Yeah, it was a misclick, I think. Anyway, we've got DinOt using this pretty much. He's loving the Hydralisks. I mean, he's building a lot of Hydralisks. I mean, he's getting those upgrades now. They're late, but better late than never, obviously. I mean, JF's already got the +2, so the +1 armor isn't going to help very much until he can get the +2 up, which will be before the +3. So JF is going to have a nice little advantage for a little while anyway. And he's sitting at 145 supply. Well, that's JF, by the way. Meanwhile, our good friend DinOt is only on just under 100 with 99. And here we go. We got JF trying to come into attack, and those locals are going to be able to force him away, and that's very smart play by DinOt. He's defending a larger force with small units, but JF is going to be able to go for that fourth. So
yeah, this is pretty bad here for... I mean, the one thing I can think of that will change the course of this battle with some really good observer snipes, because that's the only thing that's going to save him right now with the food counts the way they are. And here comes the big attack here. Lurkers and a couple of Hydralisks there to defend, but 2 observers there. They're going to breach sight to all those Dragoons. Very heavy Dragoon Archon army, and that is fine against dealing with Lurkers. That's absolutely great. And that fourth is going to go down there at the 9 o'clock position. Gonna get completely melted. Hydra's trying to come on from behind, but it looks like they're not going to get too far. Storm's beating them down, but it looks like they might be able to reinforce. No, they won't be able to reinforce. And another good storm there on the Lurkers. That goes down, and that is it for the fourth base there of DinOt. DinOt in huge trouble now at this point. I don't think he can come back. I mean, this game has been crazy. It's been swinging back and forth.
Yeah,
and this might be the final swing, though, at this point.
I mean, okay, JF didn't manage to get the 4th. I mean, he's going to be angry about that. But he is getting his 4th of his own up at 12 o'clock-ish. And I mean, he's still in a very, very good position. He's got his macro online, he's got his macro going, he's already back at 120. Meanwhile, DinOt's all the way down at 70. I mean, he's really got a commanding lead in this game, even though he didn't take down that hatchery. And he will be able to probably take this game. And I don't think there's much DinOt can do about it at this stage.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, just looking at the tech inside of DinOt's base, he's gone for upgrades, triple upgrades, but no Queen's Nest, not even close to Hive yet. And this is something I saw in all of the games he played in the TSL against Jianfei. He didn't go for the Hive very early, and I think that's a mistake against Jianfei, who likes to climb the tech ladder and likes to get those upgrades. You need Cracklings, and you need something else with them. You know, Ultralisks, Defilers, you need those units, and it just seems like we're seeing sort of an older school Zerg style where you stay on the lair just forever. For ages you stay on the lair, and this is what we're seeing. It's not the best build, I think, against Jianfei, who's you know, just so good at keeping up his macro and keeping up his upgrades. So, you know, maybe a little bit of a disadvantage as we move into other games. But at this point, I don't think JF is going to lose unless he messes up royally at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got JF moving out now, and he'll probably be looking to take the game right here from the looks of things. I mean, once he crushes this army of DinOt, I mean, oh, there we go. Oh, brilliant storm there on those 3 lurkers. Brilliant storm. That's going to be hurting a lot. And, oh, brilliant storming by JF. Oh, that's
great storms.
Beautiful, beautiful sight storms.
Zhangbi storms there.
DinOt's micro is very good, but still, way too many units for him to handle, and he's just getting overrun. And with before long, JF's going to be able to enter that 4th base, and he's going to be taking that down, and that's going to be it. And, well, an impressive game by both sides, but still JF managed to run away with it once he managed to get that 3rd online after that failed attack from DinOt.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was going to lose this game for a second when the 3rd went down, but yeah, just took it back with a good counterattack and some great storms. I think the name of this game was Storms. Pretty much it was JF's Storms, his 4 Valiant High Templar at the right side that managed to save his 3rd the second time around. Anyway, Dragoons, yeah, GG coming from DinOt.
There we go, GG. That's it. We've squared the series up 1-1, and we move on to Weathering in Game 3.
Wuthering, that's right. This is the one map that DinOt Jianfei, although I don't think it was necessary because it was Wuthering. Could have been done on any map. He went for a very strange 2-hatch rush into drop and managed to drop about half a dozen Hydras into Jianfei's base really quickly, and maybe a dozen Lings, and that was enough because Jianfei just didn't have any Zealots on the ground, didn't have anything in his main.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how Jianfei plays with this. I mean, he's obviously wants to win this match for Event from TSL, but at the same time, DinOt seems to have things sorted for this map. I mean, last time we see him really prepared with a really creative build, and I would expect to see the same thing again, given that Wuthering is known to be rather Protoss favored.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's definitely going to be pretty good here. Really, we were trying to think about who we could compare either of these players to before it started. I was thinking Stork, kind of, for Jianfei, because of his very, very good Reaver control and his just love affair with them. But I don't know. I mean, he's also been looking quite like Zhangbi with these storms in the last game.
Oh yeah, but I mean, JF isn't playing the style we saw in the TSL. He's not being able to get the harass off, and that's the thing that's really surprising me. I would expect him to be playing a lot more with speed shells, going around and storming a lot more of those drones, but we're not seeing that, and that's really taken me by surprise.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just because of the way these two games went. Last game was so fast and furious back and forth that there wasn't much chance for him to, get a harass in. Although he did try with DTs. First game was just, it was just fail for him from like the 10th minute on. He didn't have the economy to go for any kind of drops or anything. But you're right, though, that he's not going for that Reaver harass that he usually did in the TSL on the way to victory, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, that's JF style, though. I mean, we probably will be seeing it later on in some of the other maps. I mean, maps like not Lost Temple, that was last week. Like Longinus, for example, that's quite good for that. And even Medusa and Python, I mean, they're also very good maps where you can harass on because of the fact that you won't be getting shuttles on those anyway. And so what do you think about Wuthering? I mean, this is the grudge match map, and I don't know, it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit Protoss favorite just from the stats, but, you know, actually, no, the stats are pretty even just from what people are saying. But, you know, we could be seeing just standard build here from DinOt, just maybe to just play with, you know, the expectations a little bit. But let's get moving here in this game.